rock and come in. It's an open invitation for you to rock and come in. Because guess what? From now until 10 o'clock, we're going to nice up the scene. Zine? Good morning, Bridge Nation. My name is Richie B.
Truly DJ is in the building.
Welcome to Top of the Bridge Up and Go. Wherever you are, this is an open invitation. Right now, it's time for WTF.
What?
What? Yeah. You sure you don't want to just stop at what and let me finish?
All right. All right.
I trust nobody with that feature. Calling the name of that feature. Not even myself, for that matter. All right, I take a deep breath. It's time for What the Fact. Yeah, I got that right. Now, we share interesting facts with you at this time. Here's an interesting one. Are you thinking of what you might want to give as a gift for Christmas? I have a suggestion. Maybe I should say I have a suggestion, or maybe not. Well, the largest Christmas gift ever given was sent in the year 1865. Now, we know that presents are obviously one of the best parts of Christmas for most people, alongside, family and food and so on. But do you know what the biggest present in history is? You don't? All right. We guarantee that it's bigger than you might expect. Let me tell you more. It's WTF. What's wrong with you? In the year 1865, Edward de Laboulaye proposed a gift from France to the United States to commemorate their commitment to democracy and to honor the late President Abraham Lincoln. What was the gift? The Statue of Liberty was officially dedicated in 1886 and has since become an iconic symbol of the United States. And that is the largest Christmas gift ever. It was given to the United States as a means of friendship from the people of France. And as we mentioned, it's recognized as a universal symbol of freedom and democracy. Now, I don't know if you're going to try to match that with your Christmas giving. I can't. But sometimes the little things count, so you don't have to go all out and go overboard. All right?
That's a big gift.
Yeah, big, huge. Yeah, and it stands predominant even today.
Today?
Yeah, I'm telling
monument.
you. Mm-hmm. So, WTF, what the fact? But right now, we're talking proverb, the proverb of the day. Here's what it is.
Nanny goat never scratch him back till him see wall.
What was that?
Nanny goat never scratch him back till him see wall.
Oh, nanny goat never scratch him back till him see wall. Okay. So, no matter the little itch that nanny goat is feeling, when him see wall, him scratch him back. Say, nanny goat brilliant. When you get right down to it. Because what this proverb means is await the proper opportunity. Yeah. So nanny goat never scratch him back till him see wall. When nanny goat see wall, him get a good scratch and sort out a little itch there. That's brilliant. All right. Yeah. So goat have sense, right? That's the moral of the story. Okay, that was our proverb of the day. It was a toss-up between Audley and myself to see who would have the pet peeve of the morning. Audley said, sit over yesterday, the wheels are steel and do me tick, brethren. So, is that what he said?
Never couple,
You have a couple?
Yeah.
You want to drop one or we drop one?
Never couple,
All right, run through.
There's one particular one that I have, Richie. You go out, right?
Yes.
Not that you're hiding or anything like that, right? But you see these people with them cell phone and picture and camera, you're out sitting down and then all of a sudden you see they're taking pictures of somebody else, but you are also in the picture.
Ah.
You understand?
And before you know it,
them
post that.
You not understand.
And then everybody says,
worldwide. Yeah.
They say this.
You not understand. Hello.
Yeah.
Listen,
What's that? But you don't take them picture.
me just like that.
Them for just go in one section so nobody else is
No man, go into the picture corner, brother. Yeah, take DJ out of them where they suppose. I mean, suppose it's a case where I don't want nobody if you know someone me on the road. You understand? But you know, and you want to see them take the Richie them up. I mean, I say, yo, all right. How do usually when you're taking a pic, right? It's a selfie. You understand me? So you want the people involved in that little congregation in the picture. Why you take the whole world in the picture for?
So what do? You put up your hands and say, yo,
hello,
cut me out of this, you know.
Richie, sometimes I do that, but when I see the camera coming up,
I just turn it back or something.
Yeah, I just cut. You understand me? I say, yo, I know I know your picture, man.
Yeah, that's an invasion of your privacy.
That is definitely.
Yeah,
you understand?
And that is not a good look at all. No. Not a good look.
Man, listen, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Hear that?
Yeah, that would get anybody upset.
I tell you.
So if you, what's the moral of the story? Take your pick, and leave out other people.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Right?
You understand?
Yeah, as best as you can.
As best as listen. Right. The space is large.
What about video though? Because they also do that for videos.
They do that too, Richie. You know, understand? It's not only pics, but you understand them. A video like a boy, you're there, TVJ or CV, man, you're a cameraman, and listen.
Or BET or VH1 fly.
You know, understand? Me know why.
All right. That is the pet peeve from DJ Audley this morning. I have one, but I'll save it until next week, God willing. We do have with us at this time Ms. Deidre Hudson Sinclair, who is the director of the Road Safety Unit, and she's on the telephone. Good morning, Mrs. Hudson Sinclair. Season's greetings.
Morning, and season's greetings to you.
Thank you so much for joining us at this time. I usually like to have a conversation with someone from your office to look at, Christmas is around the corner. We hear of all kinds of statistics, some of them quite frightening, as a matter of fact, in terms of fatalities on our roads. First of all, Deidre, what kind of stats can you give us in terms of what the numbers are looking like in terms of accidents and road deaths for this year so far?
Well, in terms of crashes, it's unfortunate that we have lost over 450 souls. As a matter of fact, 456 people have died. And, this is an increase when compared to last year, an increase of, almost 2%. No, we look at statistics, but the unfortunate thing is that people have lost family. Our whole family is dead, or was dead over the last weekend. Last weekend represented our bloodiest weekend ever. 10 souls lost from Friday until Sunday night.
Wow.
And I know it's the season of festivities. I know that persons are much more active. There's a lot of commerce going on, but we have to be aware as Jamaican drivers that we are not only driving for ourselves, we're driving for the people around us. And we have to realize everybody has the right to reach home safe. For motorcyclists, unfortunately, they represent the largest. We have lost over 130 motorcyclists on the roads, and we see
this year alone.
This year alone.
Gosh.
This year, they represent 30% of our fatalities. And when we look out there and we do our counts at looking at helmet usage, a lot of motorcyclists don't use helmets. And then we have thousands more who have been injured to the point that they have been disabled. They have lost limbs because they don't wear other protective gears like, protective boots. And, the Road Safety Unit and the Ministry of Transport and Mining and the Council has been literally going out into the western region where Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, where we recognize there's a high prevalence of motorcycle crashes and deaths. We have been having training programs with motorcyclists one-on-one, telling them about defensive driving. And yes, motorcycles drive. It's a motor that they're on. So we have to tell them the dangers. So they have less protection, but they have all the speed. And as you know, speed is the major contributing factor to death and injury when it comes to road crashes.
I'm listening to you and I'm thinking, so many families are impacted negatively with all of this that's happening out there. Imagine a breadwinner who's permanently disabled. He can hardly fend for himself, much less take care of his family. We really need to do better. What are some of the strategies that you have tried to implement as you try to curb this growing list of fatalities on our roads?
Well, the Road Safety Unit and the Traffic Authority, with other stakeholders, have been developing a secondary school curriculum, defensive driving curriculum, that to be placed in specific high schools. And, we want to see how that rolls out in a project, because we recognize that we have so many young people now entering the space as road users, as drivers, as you have access to a learner's permit at the age of 17 and 6 months. And we recognize that we have to start early with trying to engender a culture of positive driving behavior and defensive driving. So we're starting with that generation. And then also, as I alluded to before, the motorcycle workshop in the targeted areas where we have the increased motorcyclists. But of course, we recognize that enforcement is a critical part of ensuring that our roadways are safe. So the PSTEB, Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch, along with the IT, have been increasing in spot checks throughout the year. We're looking for defects, because another part of road crashes not only has to do with driver behavior or road user behavior, it also has to deal with defective vehicles in terms of making sure that your tires are in good condition, braking condition, prop lights that are working, as well as the new drive for the IT to in terms of getting motor noise reduction and having decibel meters out there to test motorcyclists. And, of course, we know that they have modified these motorcycles or bought them already modified with these loud noises that, it's a nuisance, and it's also noise pollution, and it's not tolerated. So, we have been doing different things, different spaces throughout the year, to target in terms of enforcement.
Yes. Do you have, we hear a lot about black spots. I suspect these are areas where more accidents take place than other parts of our roads. Is there such a list that, we could look at? And can you highlight some of the areas that are considered black spots across the island?
Well, we have hotspots.
Hotspots.
And hotspots.
Okay.
Is what we call them. And yes, we can highlight some of them in the Kingston area, Constant Spring Road. We've been seeing some videos of crashes. Thankfully, no one was too badly hurt. But Constant Spring Road, Camp Road, Hagley Park Road, Marcus Garvey Drive, and most recently, Palisades have been a consistent hotspot for us over the years when it comes to fatalities. In St. Anne, Landover, St. James, we have Rose Hall, Main Road, and we have these long stretches of roadway with 2 lanes, 4 lanes, and then we have the mixture of both pedestrian traffic, turning traffic, because there's businesses along the sides of these roadways. It is almost a cocktail for crashes, and we have to appeal to all the persons, the engineering companies, the NWAs, the parish councils, to be assiduous in ensure that we have signage, we have lane markings, and it's critical that road users recognize and see the speed what they should be driving at.
Deidre, in closing, would you care to share some tips with our listeners, especially the motorists listening, as we are now deep approaching the heart of the Yuletide season? Any tips you can share this morning?
So for motorists, cut your speed, obey the speed limit, wear seatbelts in the front, especially the back. For pedestrians, bright light clothing, when especially walking at night, and be more vigilant, walk against the traffic, and especially if you're going to a concealed entrance or exit. For motorcyclists, helmet at least is the one part of your body that you need. It's the most important part of your body to protect. Of course, boots are critical, shin guards are critical, but we need more helmet use. And then, let's look out for elderly. Let's look out for children. They're one of the most vulnerable states, or pedal cyclists as well. We need to be looking out for them in those spaces, especially when there's crowds. We need to be driving slower. We need to be more vigilant and, have more care for all the other road users.
Well, those are very, very important reminders. I thank you, Deidre Hudson Sinclair, for coming on this morning and sharing those thoughts with us and information, very useful information. And I wish you, yourself, your family, and your colleagues all the best for the Christmas Yuletide season. Be safe, all right?
Thank you, and same to you.
Thank you. Much appreciated. A chat there with Deidre Hudson Sinclair, Director at the Road Safety Unit. Good morning and welcome. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good.
Who's calling?
Macintosh.
All right, Lady Macintosh, what is your answer? We gave you 2 clues. You heard them?
Yes, but the other one doesn't fit the answer that I have.
Really?
No, not really at all.
Uh-oh. So it fit the plastic and metal?
Yes, but it doesn't fit the third one.
Oh. What do you do with it? You know something? I'd suggest you just put it forward still since you're here already.
Yes.
What answer were you working with?
I was saying it was a bat playing like ping pong, a bat with plastic
Racket.
and metal. The ball would be plastic and the bat will be the metal, playing ping pong also.
Oh.
But it doesn't fit.
It doesn't fit at all.
No.
Sorry about that, Lady Macintosh. Season's greetings. All the best to you, all right?
To you too.
Yeah, she already was lined up before I gave the second clue, and then she realized, but that not go fit. All right, let's go in one more time. Good morning. Welcome to the Secret Sound Game. You're on the air. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Not too bad, Talis.
My team gone through.
Yeah, France?
Nope. Argentina.
You're always Argentinian?
Yes, remember?
Okay.
Did I send the video with the girl that going with our thing?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. So you think they have enough to take it?
I think they have. Remember that Messi is going to give it his all because it is the last World Cup.
But Mbappe is going to do that as well because it's a game that he wants to win.
Yeah. They are reigning champions. We know that. But I think Messi won't mess up this time.
All right. Well, good luck. What is your answer, Talis? We have 2 clues that we gave this morning. One is the new clue is writing tool, and the original clue, the first clue, was plastic and metal. What's your answer?
I think it's a pen being knocked on a piece of metal. Like someone is, on a piece of steel.
Yo, Talis.
Yeah.
Plastic and metal writing tool. I think you're onto something, but I want you to finalize your answer and give it to me now. Let's see if you get through. What do you think it is?
I think it's a child having a pen, like he's playing drum then on a piece of steel.
Oh. Playing drum. No, well, I tell you. Oh, boy, I'm looking across the glass. Talis, that is not right. I'm so sorry. Think about it some more.
And come back.
Please do. All right. So the clues are plastic and metal, writing tool, and we ask you to play the secret sound once again. That's the sound you must identify. Good morning, caller. You are on the air. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Who's calling?
This is Carol.
Hi, Carol.
Yes, you have yes. I think you have a plastic and you are wrapping a book with the plastic and then you are writing with a pen and you are using it to write.
Okay. All right, Carol. You're really not sure. You're really not sure. Well, listen, that is not correct, Carol. Sorry about that. But thank you for trying, all right? Okay. Who's that making so much noise over there in the background? All right. Good morning, caller. You're on.
Well, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Indeed.
Joseph.
Definitely.
It could not get easier than this. You have solved more difficult problems in the Secret Sound game. Here you are this morning going after that huge gift package courtesy of Select Brands. And we gave you 2 clues instead of 1. One was plastic and metal. The second clue, writing tool. What is your answer, my brother?
You know, it's too much of it's hollow. It's making a heavy sound. I think it's a typewriter.
You think it's a typewriter?
Yeah.
A typewriter. We have never gotten that answer before. And it's coming from David, a man who has tasted winnings in this feature before. Joseph?
Yes.
With that answer, let me declare once and for all, you are wrong. Sorry, man. Let's take one more. One final call this morning. Good morning, you're on the air. Welcome to the Secret Sound Game. Hello.
Hello, morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes.
Who is this?
Earl calling.
Earl, walk on, brethren.
There, man. Let me get it down, man.
All right, final call this morning. I want you to come through good with the right answer, Earl. You heard the clues? A writing tool and plastic and metal. What sound are you hearing with that secret sound? You want to hear the sound again, or are you good?
Yeah, man. Let me hear it one more time.
All right, here's the sound. Work it out. That's the secret sound, Earl. We've got a gift package courtesy of Select Brands. What is your answer, sir?
All right, so I feel like it's one of those metal pens, and someone playing with the top, clicking it up and clicking it down.
Clicking a metal pen on the top of the pen? You mean like pressing it and releasing, pressing?
Yeah, exactly.
Hold on. This is the sound here.
Yeah.
But instead of sounding like you want to adjust your answer, you're going as if you think you've done enough to collect the prize. No, I find that rather laughable.
But that's how we feel to win.
Yo, you sure that's what you're gonna get this morning? We gave you 2 sets of clues. One was plastic and metal, one is writing tool, and you're telling me this morning on the 15th of December that sound that you heard is what?
A metal pen. Someone playing with a metal pen, clicking it the top up and down.
Earl, you've tried many times before, man.
You know what it is, man.
You have tried many times before. You know, if there's anyone deserving of victory, Earl is one of them. Shells normally say Earl run the world.
Yeah.
But if that is how you expect to run the world, I'm not too certain about it, Earl. So you know what I mean? I just have to say, man, thank you so much for calling.
All right.
Listen, let me just say this before you go, Earl.
Yeah.
Let me just say this, bro. I mean, thank you for calling in. Right?
All right. Yeah,
and I don't need to say better luck next time. What I will say is, congratulations, you are a winner!
Hey, this is Tuna, man. Yeah, all right. Respect.
You are a winner, Earl! That is exactly what this sound is, man.
Yeah,
They're
make sure
clicking.
to tell Chelsea, you know.
Yeah.
Because it's not the faith in me.
You came through as the winner this morning. We're proud of you. This is the sound that he just described. Clicking off the top of a metal pen. Pressing down, releasing, pressing down, releasing. Congratulations, Earl. Merry Christmas. You've got a fantastic gift package courtesy of Select Brands for you and your family to enjoy. All right?
All right. Richie.
Well done, son. It's time for the UK Connection. And we say good morning or good afternoon, Robbo Ranx.
Yes, it is a good afternoon from us here in London, UK, Beat 103. A very cold London, and good morning, Jamaica. I am really rich. I think I need to walk with like one of them heat. You know, they're selling these new heater bags that you can actually wear on you. Yeah, it's a new heater. It's like a bag, but I don't know if it's filled with water and electric. You probably see it on the you probably won't see it on the internet, but it seems like it's going to be selling out for Christmas because Putin's got us aware right now. So I might have to invest in one of these portable heating. It's like a heater bag. You wear it on you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and come on, man. It's 2022. Technology, bro. But will I get one in time? I don't know, because as you know, there is so many of the workers out there who are choosing to strike, and now the postal workers are striking. Headline news on the newspapers yesterday that, hey kids, you won't be getting your Christmas, and they found people's parcels in the Royal Mail sorting office with foxes and rats going through people's parcel. I don't know if it's just they like to stimulate these headlines, but basically they're saying we're up the creek here because the Royal Mail workers are now about to do a strike, and a lot of those people who
it looks
spend their time ordering stuff online, you may not get it for Christmas.
It looks like it might be easier to determine who is not on strike, because it looks like so many people and organizations or groupings are on strike. This morning news broke of nurses that are going off on strike as well.
Oh yeah, they started today.
Yeah.
And these are the same nurses that a year ago the British public was clapping. They did it every Thursday. You go out and you clap the nurses at 8 o'clock. And you open your front door and you see your neighbors down the street. Everybody get, well done to the nurses. And a year later, the nurses are trying to get their money.
They say they're overworked and underpaid.
Overworked, underpaid, and underappreciated. Like a lot of workers out there. It's not just nurses. I mean, the nurses is essential part of what keeps a country going. We're heading into a winter, and this country is a very as they say, it's an old country. A lot of older people in this country, older generation, who are very reliant on the national health. So if they go off on strike for 1 day or even 2 days, it is catastrophic. But no, they're not going to reason with the nurses, and they're not intending to give the nurses what they want. And I believe they will eventually cave in and give the nurses what they want. And the Royal Mail workers. We can't have foxes and rats in our parcels. No, we can't have that.
Especially at Christmas time. I mean, I'm sure that the mails that are coming in and going out it's a much higher volume. So
this time of year it goes through the roof. I mean, people are as you know, through the last 2 years, people are using online more. So even drivers, we have more drivers on the road than anything else. You want to work, you can drive, because people are more using those ways of getting their goods around London, and around the UK. So. Crazy times. Crazy
times is indeed. One quick item before we go on to some music. We have a guest, two guests, as a matter of fact, in this segment. But it seems like they.
Who, Burna Boy? You really get Burna Boy this morning, Richard?
It's a strong possibility.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just working on my Swahili so I can make sure that. But Prince Harry and Meghan's documentary is causing a lot of problems, man. And I see out of the UK where Harry is now saying that William screamed and shouted at him, and that Meghan pretty much had a miscarriage as a result of all that was going on. This must be a big talking point across the UK right now.
Well, he says it's a problem, but a problem to who? I mean, it's no problem to the fans of these two royal couples.
To the institution.
They are the most popular couple right now. Institution or not, they're hugely popular. There's a lot of people who are tuned in. I myself found myself watching this documentary because I actually was fascinated at the media's role, and they broke down how the media are allowed to they allow the media into the royal family to get stories, what the royal family wants, because they are, at this point, there are 60%. Their population ratings is at 60%. They can't afford for it to go any lower, so they do as much as they can to let the media in. And at the same time, they say to the media, just say what you want. Do what you need to do. And they choose to attack Meghan and Harry. So this program, which is now on Netflix, it's caused a stir, yes, but it's more for fans of those two to see a six-parter with their favorite couple. So I don't think it's I don't think it's much damage to them. I think it's just adding to their popularity.
Oh, really? So the institution is still intact. Wow. All right. Good morning and season's greetings to you.
Greetings to you and your listeners too.
Thank you. Good morning, Nathaniel.
Yeah, man. Good morning, Robbie. Good to be with you. And, you know, big greeting you from Jamaica as well, because over here in Jamaica, come out of the snow in the UK.
Wow. You know.
Robbo, you have anything to say about that?
Well, he managed to depart. He got himself out before the as they say, the next set of workers go on strike, which are going to be the airport people. Well done, son. Well done.
Yeah, don't know still.
The thing about it is that Nathaniel is a man of purpose. He's here for purpose in Jamaica at this time.
Oh, we
Right,
got
mate?
you. We got
That's
you.
right.
Smart move, Nathaniel. So we want to be talking this morning, of course, to these two wonderful guests about some of the activities that are going on as far as the JSSE is concerned. We understand that they actually have several projects. The Jammin' Music Entrepreneurship Project. I've heard about the Stop the Violence Project, a mental health and wellness project, and there's a lot being done. As they say, basically, it's time to step up Jamaica. I want to start with you, Nora, and I'm going to ask you at the start to tell us about the JSSE and the Yuletide Telethon that's being planned right now.
Sure, thank you. Okay, so the Jamaica Stock Exchange, which most of our people in the diaspora and locally know about, has a subsidiary formed in 2019 to deal with the social sector. That subsidiary is the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange. It's not just a corporate social responsibility response for the stock exchange. It is actually an initiative, an innovative initiative that has a national reach. So we're facilitating the growth of the social sector. The social sector complements the private sector and the public sector in Jamaica's development. A significant value is ascribed to that work, and there's a whole lot more that needs to be done. Primarily, most of our organizations that are in the social sector fall under the MSME sector of the economy in a broad sweep. And all of those entities under the MSE umbrella have a number one problem that we are seeking to help to facilitate, which is their sustainability, the lack of finance, the lack of resources. So that's where we have stepped in with this innovative concept of sustainability for the social sector, meaning we have created a marketplace called the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange. In that marketplace, we bring to the market social entities and their projects. And we are pulling on the market, just like the stock exchange does when you have an IPO, to say, we have put our stamp of approval on these projects or these social entities, and it's okay for you to fund them. We're going to have two markets. One market is strictly for donation, and the next market to come, you'll be able to buy shares in social businesses, just like you do for companies on the regular exchange. But right now, we're on the crowdfunding type platform, which is where these three projects reside. So we're asking the public on this market for donations. The only difference between us and other crowdfunding platforms is that we're very sophisticated. We operate just like the stock exchange. So transparency and accountability is our hallmark. Your money will be spent for what you sent it for. Not only that, we're going to help the projects with their capacity so that they can do what they want to do it well, so that the impact will be there. When you see the report, which will be transparent, put up on our website for you to see how your money was spent, it will build the trust that we need to engender more funds, more resources coming to the sector for more growth. In a nutshell, that's it.
Maybe it's a good time then, Nora, for you to give us a little bit more details on the three projects that we're talking about here.
Sure. Okay, so we have these three projects that were selected. We have a board for the Social Stock Exchange, and we have a selection and listing committee of the board. 5 projects were initially selected on the stock exchange. 3 of them have been fully funded, and 2 have been fully funded, and now we have 3. These are the 3 projects that we are seeking $33 million Jamaican Nathaniel, could you please do the convert for me? I'm sorry, I don't have it at my fingertip. We're seeking $33 million to fund 3 projects. The first one I would speak to is the project in Trenchtown, which is the Jamming Music Entrepreneurship Project. Phase 1 of that project is seeking to restore the music studio that is there in the community as an asset for the community, and to renew their license for the Pro Tool certification that they can offer to those youths and persons in general in the community. So it is the thing from which Agency for Inner City Renewal hang their social intervention for music entrepreneurship. So you're talking about not just a guy who wants to boss, but teaching, giving skills in terms of understanding studio management, sound engineering, recording, events planning. I think they will even take them to a place where they can enter into a tertiary institution such as Edna Manley for entertainment management. Yeah. So what you're talking about now is giving people an opportunity to create wealth through the music industry, not just go on a stage and bust a tune, but to give you sustainability, a career you can build out. Then we have the project that we want to have in our communities and our schools for mental health and wellness. That's the Shalom Project. This project basically has 5 pillars. It's going to teach people the art and science of happiness, how to manage stress, conflict resolution, trauma intervention, and very importantly, suicide prevention, which we have seen an increase, unfortunately, murder and murder-suicide in our communities. So that project, I think, is very timely, especially post-COVID, because I think I heard a report just this week from the NCU that the incidence of depression in our males has gone up significantly post-COVID. Now, this project, I must speak directly to the Diaspora to say that the Diaspora in the USA, through USHA, the Alumni Association of Schools, they love it so much that they have asked the organizer to adapt it, to put into the schools, and they will sponsor their own schools. So you have St. George's College, I know has started, Kingston College, a couple of schools in the rural parishes have started, and those teachers have been trained to now start happiness clubs in the schools. How awesome is that? So Diaspora in the UK, that's one way you can support the projects, right? This particular one, the one for mental health and wellness, that's on the platform. And then we have
the Stop the Violence, I think, is the third one, right?
The Stop the Violence project by Praise Foundation Jamaica. Now, this project wants to go into the school and present and operate a program, which they have tested and tried over the years because they've been operating for a while, so now they need to grow. They want to be able to now bring character development in a more focused way using the creatives, using music, using drama to bring the training across, to have more pro-social behavior as a solution to the problem of the antisocial behavior disruptions that we have in the schools. So the issue of bullying and fighting, attacks, theft, extortion, rape even, drug use, vandalism, disorderly conduct. These are some of the root problems that we're facing in the schools that are actually the answer, if you can fix the problem, the answer to our high crime and violence.
Great, yeah. I see also that even financial literacy is also embodied in that Stop the Violence.
Is associated with us, yes, at the Jamaica Stock Exchange.
Yes.
We're layering an introduction to literacy, to financial literacy.
That's fantastic. I want to bring Nathaniel in. As far as the telethon is concerned, Nathaniel, what is your role in this year's Yuletide Telethon?
Well, I've been engaged in the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange from the inception of this, in fact, right at the very beginning with Professor Neville Ying, when they were looking at trying to get these social projects listed into the stock exchange on this social space to get investments and pledging from communities around the world. And, so I'm a link really I'm the chairman of Jamaicans Inspired, which is a diaspora organization in Europe. We have a lot of members scattered around the UK and even in France and around the globe, in fact. And also as the Global Jamaica Diaspora Council representative, I'm connected with many diaspora organizations, including the missions and so forth in England and other consulates around the world. And so linking this is so essential for us because, you know, the diaspora oftentimes wants to give to Jamaica, but they don't know how. I'm sure that Robbo can really, Mr. Ranx can even speak to that, where there are people in the diaspora that want to give to Jamaica, but they don't know how to do it. They have a lot of support they want to.
Who to trust.
And who to, that's right. And trust is a big thing, all right? And so this is where you can definitely trust the Jamaica Stock Exchange. You can definitely trust them because, of course, them under big money with big companies and everything, right? So you understand that they can really do this thing and support the young people projects. So here, I mean, you're speaking about 175,000 pounds. That's what we need to raise for the people in the United Kingdom linked with the bridge. 175,000 pounds. That's all that they need. Now, if you think about the amount of Jamaicans that live overseas within the diaspora, where we have over 2.5 million people, if even one person give $1 or £1, how fast am I gonna reach the goal?
Okay. Our ultimate goal is 100 million. Here we need 33.
Isn't it?
Yes. Right? Because after we put these projects into operation in January 2023, then we're open now for call for new projects. So we want to hit 100 million.
How does one donate on this project? On these projects?
It's very, very easy. So we're going to be having the telethon on Friday, that's tomorrow, the 16th, Saturday 17th, Sunday the 18th. We have call lines, which we will give then. It doesn't make sense to say it now, and we'll share it across the social media to the diaspora. But outside of that, you go on our website, JSSEJA.com, and you are able to make your donation using your credit card, using your PayPal account, using your debit card. You can also do a bank transfer, and we have JN Money on board with us, partnering in this initiative for the telethon. So a transfer can be done using JN Money.
Is there a minimum that is required?
No, because every dollar counts. Every dollar counts. So our call line for the UK is gonna be 08000-487. Let me just look back at that. 408-000-488-071. That's our toll-free number for the telethon. Additionally, when you go online, you'll be able to make a pledge. If you don't have the money in account at the time, a pledge can be filled out and we will receive it on the back end and we will keep the dialogue with you.
All right.
Now,
go ahead, Mr. Ranx?
Yeah, I was just about to say, so the people in the UK that want to get involved, they can find a link through your JSSEJA.com.
That's our website. Now, the telethon, we actually at the Jamaica Stock Exchange have our own cable channel now, CBX, which is streamed on the Jamaica Stock Exchange website, JSEJAMSTOCKEX.com. So the telethon will be beamed, transmitted across our own cable network on our website all 3 days.
One quick one before we go. We're already past the time allotted, but this is so interesting. I still have to get this in. Will donations be accepted after the telethon ends?
Absolutely. Remember, the overall target is to hit 100 million so that we can now take in new projects. And you can't leave me and not give me an opportunity to tell the diaspora that Bridge FM is actually our global partner in this. So big up to Bridge FM and continue to carry the word. And we hope to see you in studio for the telethon.
Yes.
Because it's going to be really exciting. The cultural lineup, the entertainment lineup is awesome. I'm not giving out any names yet, but it's going to be big. So we're on CVM, right? And we're going to be on Bridge on Friday evening at 2 o'clock. 2 to 3, I believe, on Bridge.
All right, Nora.
Transmitting the telethon. So
we're happy to be a part of this very, very positive move, and we know that you'll achieve your objectives. I want to thank you, Nora Blake, manager at the Jamaica Social Stock Exchange, and Nathaniel Peat, also, of course, he's an award-winning entrepreneur candidate for Global Jamaica Diaspora Council, representative for South UK. Thank you both for sharing all of these wonderful ideas and thoughts on how we can help marginalized in our society. Thank you so much, and have a good day.
Thank you. And before
Thank you very much.
Please send in your pledge.
All right. We heard you, Nora.
Thank you.
Robbo, very interesting matters we discussed a while ago, but what is also interesting is when Nathaniel referred to you as Mr. Ranx.
He's lived in London long enough. That's what they call me here.
All right. Now I know.
Go good.
This morning inside of Man Chat, we'll be looking at men and loneliness. And we have a gentleman who is a clinical psychologist and a marriage officer, has all the information that we need. We say good morning and welcome Dr. Paul Smith. Good morning, Dr. Smith.
Well, good morning, Richie B. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Season's greetings to you.
To you and your co-host and all the listening
good morning,
public.
Good morning.
In particular, our men.
They're the target this morning. I'm going to share some information before Doc gets deeper into the conversation. So, a study in Australia shared that men tend to report higher levels of loneliness than women, and 39% of men living alone experiencing loneliness, and 1 in 3 men believe that there is no one to help them out if they're in need. Half of the Australian male population thought that they had many acquaintances but not as many real friends as they would like. And interestingly, 37% of men are not satisfied with the quality of their relationships. There's more to the study, but Doc, can you give us a comment on those findings that we just shared a while ago?
Very, very interesting findings. Very true findings, very realistic. And these findings need to be discussed even more to resonate with persons as to how seriousness the issue of loneliness can be for men.
It is a serious issue. Do you believe that Jamaican men experience many of those, situations as described a while ago?
Oh, yes. In my experience as a clinical psychologist, I've had to deal with a number of men in relationships, outside of relationships, to have expressed the effect that loneliness has on them. And interestingly, it's not a topic that is readily discussed among men. But when they come to a safe space, such as, a counseling office, they will kind of unload the very emotional issues that they have as a result of loneliness. So yes, it is something that is quite prevalent among the men in our Jamaican society.
I'm looking at some notes here. People experience loneliness when they lack a sense of connection with others. It can feel like a sense of isolation. Other times, it just feels like no one is listening. They say loneliness can be caused by mental, emotional, and physical factors, and it can happen even when you're surrounded by other people. You agree with those thoughts?
I might pick up on the last point, because we can be in the crowd and we can feel lonely. We can be with family members and we feel lonely. We can be with friends and we feel lonely. So it is the issue of being able to connect with others around us, to connect with systems around us, right? To have things in common and to make sure that our expectations are met realistically. So being lonely does not necessarily mean that you necessarily live by yourself. That is a cause as well. But there are persons who are in relationships and are lonely because there's lack of compatibility, right? So there's still a void that needs to be filled, right? So when our expectations are not met by society, by friends, by brethren, by family members, there's also a feeling of loneliness. And that feeling is psychological and can have many, many effects on men mentally as well.
Well, a lot of men listen to us, especially on a Thursday during this segment, to sort of learn and understand how to navigate on this journey of life. What is your advice to men who are around people but still feel alone and maybe unsupported?
All right. So the first thing I would advise, Richie, is that we men need to not be afraid of making themselves emotionally vulnerable. Right? And I say that against the background because one of the things that some men do rather, is to hide behind the issue of being macho. So there are men who do not believe that it is manly enough to say, I feel lonely, I feel isolated, I feel sad, I feel out of it. It's just not it. So they mask it. And when that happens, it makes the issue even more severe, even more chronic. So I say to men, do not be afraid to say, I feel lonely, right? It's a natural emotion that we feel whenever there's a disconnect. It's natural across the board.
Who does he say that to?
Do not be afraid to name your emotion and to share it with others, right? There's nothing wrong with it. It is perfectly a healthy thing to do. Right? Make connection with others. Right? Make connection with other brethren. You sit and you talk and you connect. Right? Try to connect with persons of like minds, right? Persons with similar issues, persons with similar value system, right? Do not stay in isolation because you can be lonely yet not isolated. So isolation is a deliberate act you make as a result of being lonely. So do not isolate yourself. Try to find meaningful things to do in life. So, you can have that kind of joy and happiness that you're contributing to a cause. You're building your self-esteem, which is another issue. But do not stay and suffer because there are men who suffer in silence, right? So while some persons will talk, there are others who will not talk. And in my reading, Richie, it is said that 3.62 men are at least 3.62% more likely to commit suicide than women, right? And a cause of this is that sometimes men hide behind, social constructs as to what a man should do and should not do, what a man should feel like and do not feel like. And if you feel as if the loneliness is affecting you severely, reach out to a mental health professional and just talk to the person. Yes.
Let's now focus our attention on the Christmas Yuletide season, which in itself have persons feeling lonely, sometimes feeling depressed. Why is that so, and how can we get around that if it happens?
It's almost a given generally. The Yuletide season comes with its own stress for people. Expectations are not met. Some persons have high expectations as to what it should be like. They look around them and they see other persons doing other things and they compare themselves to others and they feel this sense of loneliness. But some persons, the loneliness might come as a result of probably the death of a spouse, or probably migration. So probably men might migrate and have not yet made that social connection. So while the Yuletide season is coming on and it talks about togetherness and family and friends and party and just having a good time, there are persons who just feel left out of this construct, and for that they feel lonely, right? So I say to people, you can still connect, take up your phone and make some connection with a good friend you have not spoken to before, WhatsApp, video call, whatever the social media platform is, but do not deliberately stay in isolation and have a little pity party. Make yourself available You can still have fun. You can still connect. You can still, even cook a meal and say, all right, brethren, I'm inviting you over for dinner. Or somebody might invite you over, make yourself available, right? Yes, because happiness is really a deliberate choice that we make every day. And it can be done during the Christmas season as well.
You said happiness is a deliberate choice that we make every day?
Every day we must choose to be happy. And I say to people, do not be because of. Choose to be happy in spite of, because everything might not be 100%. But we can find meaning in life. We can find meaning in events. We can find meaning in ourselves, in our purpose. So today I am choosing to be happy. I am happy, right? And you set that tone, and the hormones, the chemical hormones in the brain will receive that message, right? And we choose to have a happy day.
Well, I tell you, we learned a lot this morning from you, Dr. Paul Smith. I thank you once again for being our guest and sharing those wonderful thoughts with us inside of Man Chat today as we looked at men and loneliness. I wish you all the best for the rest of the season, and Happy New Year when it comes. Thank you again, Doc.
Thank you, and many happy returns to you, Richie.
Much appreciated.